It's time to talk about the anime that made us all ask the big question. Is this fan service thing going too far? Cue title scene. Bleach is an anime that ran from 2004 to 2012, which is pretty long when you consider most anime last 13 episodes. But this is one of the few that went on to be very long, and it's one of the ones that created a lot of negative stereotypes. It's really gotten a lot of flack over the past couple of years. And to be perfectly honest, I do see where that anger is coming from, but honestly, I've always loved Bleach. I watched it when it premiered on Cartoon Network back in fall 2005. I was just entering middle school, I was getting into my teen years, and here was a teen show that, you know, I don't know, this is going to sound silly probably, didn't feel very polished. Like, the teens used bad language, Ichigo was pretty much a jerk. A lot different from what you saw from a lot of other teen shows here in the States, things like Saved by the Bell or even Mighty Morphin Power Rangers to an extent, that always just sort of glorified and made everything about being a teen cool. This was like, no, we have problems. Plus getting into comics and being a big Spider-Man fan, seeing, the TV version of a teen who is troubled, only this being a bit more intense, was very cool for me, and so Bleach has always been important to me, so if any of you think maybe I'm sounding a little bit biased in this review, I'm just going to say, yeah, I am. But basically, Bleach revolves around this guy, Ichigo Kurosaki. Like I kind of said, he's your typical sort of like bad boy type character. He's tough, he's sarcastic, but ultimately he does the right thing all the time, so the bad boy thing kind of gets wasted a bit. And basically, his big thing is he can see dead people. He sees ghosts, he sees spirits, he tries to help them out. And one night he meets a spirit known as a Soul Reaper, a beautiful young lady known as Rukia, who is a Soul Reaper or Shikigami. And basically, a Soul Reaper's job is to bring spirits to the afterlife, kill demons, and do whatever the plot needs to do at that moment. But basically, Rukia gets injured by a demon known as a Hollow. I'll get to that in a minute. And basically, she is somehow able to transfer her Soul Reaper powers to Ichigo, and he becomes the anime badass we all know and sometimes love. And I gotta say, what I really love about the series is just how fun it tries to be. It's not deep, it's not spiritual, it's not sentimental. It does have good dramatic moments. But for the most part, Bleach is about having fun and enjoying the series. And a lot of that comes from the world we're in. Basically, the world we are in is sort of your typical Earth matched with a spirit world. But unlike normally, the human world's not boring. It's fun, it's exciting. We have a lot of great side characters in this show that are really enjoyable to watch. The action in the real world is done. I really like the way it implements kind of the demonic fantasy element with the way normal towns and cities look nowadays. It always looked great. And then you go to the spirit world in this show. It's called the Soul Society, and it's got this whole culture to it. It's well developed. It's well established. You understand everything about it. It's so interesting to watch. It just brings you into this world and respects your intelligence enough to just tell it to you and know that you will follow it. It's not like, say, Star Wars prequels where it's shoving political crap down your throat. It's introducing cool, fascinating characters and showing what they do to get through their day-to-day lives and the day-to-day function of the whole afterlife. And that's really cool. Plus, you have great demons in the form of what are called hollows. Hollows, at least to me, don't look inherently Japanese. They almost have like a Mexican, Central American, kind of like the very skull design, like Day of the Dead type thing influence. And even the musical score to this show does feel very international. You hear sort of like when the Hollows fight some Mexican type folk music. You even hear a little Irish folk music, I felt like a couple times in the score. It makes the whole show feel international, like this is the whole world we're in, not just this little town. We may be focusing on a small section of it, but I know the entire world because you get that sense of culture from the villains and the way everything is presented about it. You just get all that, and that's just what I love about this show. Yeah, it gets a little goofy at times. Yeah, the fan service can be a bit much, always has been, always will be for Bleach. But it's fun, it's exciting, we go through all these different arcs. They're all cool, they're all awesome to watch. The big problem, though, is naturally when you have a show that goes this long, there's a lot of filler. And Bleach filler is notorious for being very annoying. Just because there was so much of it, and also they'd stop right in the main story where the most interesting arcs were going on to start a whole new arc. They would actually say, we'll get back to the main story later, here's this thing you didn't ask for. And that is very annoying. Sometimes the Soul Reaper powers get a little bit out of control. That's a given with something like this. But throughout the whole show, I loved it. I enjoyed it. It was a big part of growing up for me. And I'm going to say Bleach is an 8 out of 10 on the action scale. It's a really good anime. I'd recommend, though, for watching it, look online so you can make sure you watch the main series. You can watch the filler. It's always entertaining. It's never not entertaining. It gets grinding after a while, especially with the more comedic-based episodes. But I always enjoyed it, and you can figure out a way to enjoy this show. It's a lot of episodes, but it's really worth it. It's really fun. Give it a shot. But have you? In the comment section below, tell me what you've thought of Bleach over the years. And as always, click to like and click to subscribe, because like Bleach, I'm keeping on.